Hello and welcome. I'm not sure if I was halfway through a episode last time or no, I think I'd finished. We've got a lot of work to do. I've got to be honest, I've not been back on it. I literally switched to JM Gaming's Oak City because he's a friend, and you will notice there are things missing. That's because I've changed the name of them, and that means I would have lost a shed load of stuff, which means I need to go back to the last session and like rectify these faults before it saves the game. Let me just switch auto save off so we don't hopefully make that mistake, although it's so easy to actually make that mistake of like clicking save. So this is me. I may be able to fix it. If not, then I can look at what the XML says before I save again and what was in here before. I was going to go on a new map. I was going to go on Louisiana, and I thought, you've done Frankenmuth, and also it would suit you down to the ground. We've sort of stuck. Let's have a look with Star Wars. So yeah, this has changed since obviously the last time. You will notice if you're a modder and you make mods and the model sits in your mod folder, if you make changes to that mod, it makes changes to every mod of that type. But also, if you delete a mod or change it completely, it no longer exists, which means that one there is gone because I've changed its name slightly. Which also means we did have something here too. Was that a production silo? I think it was. I think it was sat right here. So yeah, I'll have to go back to Frankenmuth, or we just rectify things. We've done this one. I think all we've got to do was, let me just have a look at what we own. It's a long time. I know we were going to buy this field here. Have we got all we've got left to do is this one here? Because what we could do is at least while I'm chat. No, because it's because I can't carry on as I'm doing. That's what I mean. I need to. Yeah, I mean I only got 100,000 and we're on euros. We need to be on American dollars. Let's get this. So what I'm going to do. I was going to do, as I've just said. Yeah, I'm repeating myself. I apologise. I was going to do Louisiana. And I thought, well, why don't you go on Frankenmuth? Which I know I've already said, but yeah, it's true. That's what I thought. But there's going to be like things to fix to make this work. So I thought, well, I'm going to come in with a bit of an explanation. We've still got these to get off. I think, if I remember rightly, did we just go down the shop? Well, I can't remember if we leased. I was going to lease Piesel's. Yeah, I have. I've leased it. I think I bought it, but I'm not sure this will work. But we'll try it. Not with this, we won't. Let's get all of the testing out of the way, because I've actually done one myself, like a pickup that's even got a bit of a hopper. So let's pop and sort this, and then what I'll do is I'll go out, see if I can see what it was. I think it was a self-sufficiency and a production silo. I think this was the first of the beginnings of the self-sufficiency before I did anything else. So we've got all of this lot to grab. There's going to be a bit, because this is going to be doing like refreshing, because it's obviously I've not been on this for a long time, so it's going to be doing all those updates, as Giant said, on the map and the shaders and all that type of stuff. So then let's have a look. And there's an awful lot of little weird glitches that go on the map. If you look very closely, like weird little things going on in the background that really are a bit weird. Right, so we've got a low loader, got 2 of those, 4 meters I think they are. Again, we've got things here that I have improved upon since these are probably normal standard ones, rather than the BI Industries one. Let's just grab this, and if this is a bust, which I think it's going to be, then, or it's really, really painfully slow, then we will grab mine, because it's not painfully slow. It can travel across the map. This doesn't even like being dragged fast. It's a beautiful little thing, but I've got to be honest, I keep saying this time and time again, I think Peasel missed a trick, because if he'd have made this differently... Yeah, no, I was right. I didn't think it did. No, it doesn't do half the crops. Right, okay. Right, we're this close. Well, yeah, we're not going to bother asking the shop to deliver. We shall sell this or send it back if it was leased. I can't remember, but it's so cheap that I'm sure I probably bought it. But even though we're a little bit skint, we are going to buy the mover. It suits this job. It's really what in real life most farmers would use, a belt system. Well, they could use a telehandler. I've seen both. But it is true, it is also one of those things that does actually get used a lot. What I'm about to, like grab. Now, did I? Yeah, I did make a mark on the ground. I did. So let's return or sell. Yeah, I did buy it. Fantastic. And we will buy the mover, as I've called it. Yeah, based upon, well, it's based upon the Grimmy. But obviously I have left it in because Dr. Drewley was the one who actually started this off. He really was, and I played with it and fell in love with it, and I thought I can make that slightly better. I'm sure I can do some tweaks to that, because what I've learned on placeables and all the rest. So I put a hopper on it, and it's got a 50 horsepower engine on it, so it can travel in its own steam. It can indeed. It appears as a tractor. You've got to do a trick if you're going to do that, but it's a trick that I know you can pull, because obviously I've ripped to pieces many mods. So this little beaut can grab all those piles off our fields. So have I got this the right way? I think I have. Yeah. Right, smashing. So yeah, we also I can't save the game. Why have you done this? It's true, I've been silly, but we will do what I've just done, and I'll literally grab that. So I won't save it. I need to go on out and see if I can repair this, and then I shall be back. What for you will be like in 10 seconds. For me personally, look at the time. It's 5:20. We shall see what time I return. See you in a little while. Well, that worked a treat. It did. Sometimes it did used to not work when you did this. I've literally just tweaked this a few minutes ago and put this here, so it's a bit close to the road. Yeah, obviously this is the trouble. When you put things down, the model is completely different. Then all of a sudden you shift it, and then you're like that. It's a little bit, a bit dangerous for this particular map. So unfortunately, there's not much I can do about that. Yeah, I was very lucky, so that means I should have the contents is exactly as we left it on the day we were last here. I did a because it's good testing. It sort of teach me whether or not now this might be in the wrong place because of the changes I've made now. Oh no, this one I haven't changed yet, the small cannery. Let's just tweak this a little bit, and then we've got to go and buy what we did before. And this was grassed. I know it was. Yeah, we grassed it. That's a long time ago. How can I possibly remember this? So if we level from the point that's up, it should uncover that, really. And then if we just soften a little bit bigger, just to level it sort of, without it sucking it in, because it sucks it back in. Right, we also need to level this so that you can see all the chevrons. That's not too terrible. Now, I've been tweaking these. I've had quite a lot of issues. Now, this is still going to give us issues because it's got two triggers on top of each other, which is something that, obviously, I'm new to modding. And when I say that, I have done a lot of modding. I've engrossed myself in it and bathed in it to such an extent that I wished it to become part of my inner being. I have, it is true. I wanted to, I really have enjoyed it, I've got to be honest. I suppose it's really this also will have changed, because this model is, and is this the big one or the little one? Yeah, the model that we bought is this model now, as in literally, I've not cheated. This, as I said, it works for the same thing. I've tweaked this model a lot, so we've sort of done well out of this. Sometimes it can go the other way, and we could have had the little model and it might not have worked so well. We've got actually the big hopper, so we really ought to be grabbing everyone's engines, although I'm going to leave this doing this on its own while we go and grab the the other thing is I've got a brand new thing to actually try. So I think what we're going to do is actually, what have we got in the cannery? I think we've got quite a lot in there already. Yeah, we have, but not too much. It's true, if we switch everything off, because it's amazing, it even remembers what you clicked. It stores it all, and yeah, this we want nothing distribute. Well, we do, but no, we don't. Not really. We want it storing at the minute. Yeah, because like we don't want anything. I think that was it. It was literally we'd only just started to do this. Right, fantastic. Let's set this going, and it can crack on. Where is our trailer? We got the BI one. I remember I've just seen it. This should even have the very course that we laid in last time. Yeah, it's that good. And we've got a bit of parsnips somehow on the ground. So I'm going to set this going. We're going to go and grab the thing that we've already got. In fact, I'm going to have it delivered because I actually did this properly last time. So it's not like I'm not. Let's just set this going. I've already done this one, so this is only fair. I mean, we're going to pay for it as well. So is this to go first waypoint? I think we did this for a reason, if I remember right. Right, so we want to self-unload. We want to grab this on the edge of the field. We've got another trailer which we'll use for ourselves. And we'll put this on the edge of this field, and we will go grab that other one from. We'll grab both tractors. No, we said we're going to have it delivered, so no, I'm not going to reset. So no, we'll go down the shop. I shall use follow me. Right, so I'm going to say my words though. There's a lot for us to do, and there is another production to do to replace that one. So yeah, we'll get cracking. So I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on, yeah, this new mod, before I just start, is a brand spanking new mod. That is the very first time I've actually released this. So again, like all of my mods, this one I'm very proud of. I like the self-sufficiency, that I'm very proud of. I've spent a lot of time, and the production silo, really, I suppose. I am, actually, it's true. It's come through a lot of changes in the little bit of time that we've actually done it as well. But I have also made, based upon the Grimmy, which is based upon an idea by Dr. Drewley that I ran with and I personally think improved. Yeah, I've like made it into a vehicle so you can jump in it, give it a little tiny bit of horsepower, soup the engine up a little so that, yeah, that's what I'm on about. These fences jumping around. Yeah, I thought it was JM Gaming's, but it's not. It is the actual game itself does weird things. Giants have tried to incorporate sections of fences that you delete at once instead of, and it's not liking it. Right, so we're going to rinse and repeat what we've already done. Grab the fence, can grab. Thank you very much, lady. TD. I'm sure TD's a man. I will tell you what I mean by that. Yeah, I think some of the names are wrong. This mod is brilliant. I love having the personal names, but I actually think there are some times that I've seen George, and George is definitely a lady. So I think the names, the sex of the name is not quite right. I think it's just, let's just check. I'm not sure if we can upgrade this one, but we do need to if we can, because we're going to be like running backwards and forwards. Oh, we can. It's the red rock. Yeah, we definitely can. So we want to customize it, make it to the biggie. I don't know what the difference is other than those things down the side. Does that mean? I'm not sure what it means, the difference, but yeah, I like that. It's a beautiful bit of kit. Very pleased we've got it. So we need to grab. Yeah, it is true. I think Peasel missed a trick on what I've done and what Dr. Drewley have done also, or what Dr. Drewley did first and then what I ran with afterwards, is really made a ground pick about the Grimmy and sort of run and done some really quite wonderful things with it. So I think Peasel, I did think this in FS25 well before I was modding. I always thought, why did Peasel not do grass and straw and stuff like that? Because he would have had everyone would have wanted his mod. And I'm thinking, surely as a modder, the most important thing is that you're successful with your mods. And then I thought, not really. Staying true to your ideals is really far more important than that. So perhaps Peasel feels very strongly about it, and he does not want to be successful like that because he feels very strongly about. Why is that? Fantastic. Yeah, it is true. Pisa might feel strongly about it, and I've got absolutely no problem with that at all. It's just I think he missed a trick as a modder. And I mean, a mod's a mod. I don't know why you would possibly think as I'm suggesting that he thought, but yeah, it's true. Everyone's entitled to their own. I mean, yeah, some people might think because we've done what we've done with the mover that like it's cheating or something like that. I honestly don't know. So it really is. I mean, obviously the game sort of in a way cheats a little with it uses, obviously it looks super, but this really is representative of like people loading this like during the day, and obviously the game speeds that up, the same as you've got those fertilizer spreaders that have trailer hitches and you've got to drag the trailer with you. Right, okay, yeah, you've got to drag it with you for the game to recognize the capacity. Okay, Sam. Why? Oh, I put you on the wrong field. I have actually, it's true, I have. Sam's been drawing wages for no reason. Is this? Please tell me this is parsnips, so we're going to have to tip these out on the ground. Yes, it is. Thank goodness for that. Right, let's see. I'm not sure if I will have done the field for this one. I may have done. I thought I'd got this on. It looked like I had, but it's not this field, is it? Right, so then let's have a look. This will be field 46A or something like that. And I'm going old school. Let's have a look. Well, when I last did this didn't actually... right, so we're going to see... 46A, we'll call, yeah, the one with the number 46 on it, that can actually be the... yeah, so the one with the number on it is that one there. This will be 46A because it hasn't got the number on it. Whether I remember that though, that's the trouble with these type of things. I prefer north and south if I'm honest. Right, so then let's go. Let's say let's form here. Do 7, and we don't want any round ones, and generate. Fantastic. Make sure we've done self-unload and all of those type of things. We have indeed. Have we got rid of that 100% direct repair? We have. We even remembered to do that. That really just shocked me. Right, so we want first... oh, temporary course. Did we not save it? Oh, we didn't. I'm glad it said that. I didn't realise. So it sort of saves you bacon if, like me, you forgot to do your course. Yes, I like it. You know, you're right next door to it. You really are. You can't really go wrong. But we shall see. Right, I'm not sure. Now we need to follow the aggro star, not the. It does try to follow the quantum, but it can't. It sort of. Obviously, I've sort of called it a vehicle because in a way you do jump in it, which represents the worker actually controlling it with a joystick or whatever, or jumping on it when like doing that. But obviously the game sort of tries, because I've classed it as a vehicle on the map, and it then looks and thinks, no, that's not a vehicle. And of course it is right. It does clearly say stop. Right, smashing. He's not moved at all. But I bet you he's taking cash. Jackie, now that was a lady, that was Farmer Girl. Right, okay, this is annoying. They're just sitting there taking cash. Yeah, we'll take over. This is ridiculous. It's right next door to the start. I don't understand why it's like... which way is the start? Let's just look at the course for a second. You know, seriously. No, that's not how we do it. It is that way. Right, okay. I have no idea, though, why, really. It's struggling with like just going up the field a little bit, especially not for that length of time. I mean, really. So one thing I hate about Causeway is you've got to, it won't let you see, it won't let you do your cameras. When I say hate, I don't mean literally hate. I mean it's all those things that's annoying. I don't hate it at all. Right, it should work this time. That's all it was. It couldn't figure out how to turn around. Seriously. Right. Yeah, let's go back into that time-lapse, or start to go into the time-lapse. So we need to, yeah, we're going to do this on its own right. And this one can be the, yeah. So let's get cracking. Let's get these V-truths. No, carrots, I clearly see they're orange. Let's get these into the, yeah, we do need to do that, it's true. And we need to open this up with its hopper. Or capacity, you could say. I always forget which one this is, that one there. Yeah, it does get stuck on furrows. It is realistic. It's only a little 50 horsepower like engine. It's not super duper. Yeah, it's good though. I've got to be honest. It's also fast. It's one thing I have done. I do like the fact it has actually got depth, but yeah, obviously it's a bit of a trick. It's not perfect. There are certain times when you can see that it's not as big as that. But it is. It's supposed to be. It has really got depth. So, right. Anyway, yeah. That's enough of admiring the mod. Let's just set you down there, and we will grab you. Right. I'm saying my words. You see, guys, I'm down the road, or she. We'll see you guys and gals on the other side. I'm coming out the time lapse to do this. Yeah, so we're going to literally... I'm only doing this. I love the cannery. I've used it a lot, and if you follow in the my Let's Plays, you will have seen this a little bit too frequently. Now, obviously, I think it's only been placed for a month or so, hence we've not lost a lot of value. We're going to lose a bit of pig food, but I think it's sometime. I don't know if it pays you back. No, it doesn't in productions. It's weird. It does in silos. Right, so then this is a brand new... Again, it is subject to... a bit of change because I might not have got it right. This is using unique things. I've also got the cement factory, but this is broken. Yeah, that you shouldn't see the smoke. You shouldn't. It's so that I've done something wrong in that. We're not using that anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so it's the luxury desserts that we're using. This is literally something I've only just finished. Right, okay, this is I really could do is seeing levels where everything is, so we'll stick that. That is going to be perfect, and we need to just smooth it and soften it. Yeah, the when I say I don't deserve all the credit for this, I've got to be honest, all of my graphics are... There's a big hoo-ha around about AI. Now, I've got to be honest, working with AI a lot, personally, actually, not in my job. You'd think, oh, it's because he's an IT technician. Actually, they don't call them that anymore. We're not called IT technicians, but yeah, an IT engineer is my present title. I have been a network manager and an IT manager, but now I'm just a humble, normal network IT manager. I can speak English, honest. Yeah, I'm just at present. I'm just a humble IT engineer. I'm quite pleased with that. It's you're not ashamed to be that. It's not my responsibility to look after anything anymore, which is quite nice. But we'll get there, honest. Why will you not let me out? Yeah. All of the graphics, every single one of them are thanks to Aria and Copilot and not so much ChatGPT. ChatGPT is getting quite demanding on like almost saying, "Show me your readies," and you go on the advanced thing, and I'm like, well, I'm not being funny, but I'm offering you the chance to train yourself on my data. If you don't want it, then I'll go somewhere else. So I've like Gemini, Aria, Copilot are all the fantastic artists behind all of these. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have tweaked them. They can't spell for peanuts. A lot of these are spelled totally wrongly. Like I had to tweak one last night because it had got 2 S's and 2 I's, and I'm like, oh my life, they can't spell. They've surely got dictionaries, but they cannot spell for peanuts, and that's true of them all. Yeah, so, but these are beautiful things, are really thanks to them. So I tell them to put the desserts factory on, and I tell them, please, even tell them what vegetables to put on there. They don't always listen exactly, but they do sort of pretty much get it right. Yeah, so all of the pretty pictures, every single one in this production, are all thanks to the AI. And although they're not, people are like afraid they're going to take over the world and all that, and I'm not saying that they won't or they will, but look at the quality of those graphics. Really, each one be true. Again, no, that is spelled right. It's just a bit of a strange... but I liked it. I thought it was really quite different. The carrot cake likewise. Green, I'd insist. The writing on that's not quite right, but you can't see it, so I'm quite happy that you can't see it because it's a bit weird. It's sort of put the E in another letter. And that's got parsnips, got 2 eyes. Yeah, we shall correct this in time. Pea and mint sorbet and spinach and banana muffins. The spinach, I've doctored that. It had 2 eyes. I didn't realise. I missed that parsnip having 2 eyes. I thought that was okay. I've only just seen it as I'm looking. Yeah, but that had 2 eyes, and obviously I grabbed it, cut it, filled it, and all that type of stuff, so that everything's as it should be. But the pictures are absolutely stunning, truthfully, and the little tiny pictures here are far better than the cartoony type ones that we have in the game. So this one, once this is finished, is going into the ModHub. It is. So you can see I've tried to do something. I was really intrigued in doing this in FS25, but I was not interested in modding at all, or didn't think I could ever be a modder. But you can see that I am, and I can, definitely. thanks to Lambo Mods and Farmer Bob, and a lot of hours, not just Lambo, but yeah, they have given me real good points, especially Farmer Bob. I cannot stress how much just listening to that wise man is going to teach you the things that you really need to know about modding, the things that you will wreck your mods if you don't listen to Farmer Bob. Even if it's not just about placeables, much of what he says is also applicable to like vehicle modding. But anyway, yeah, let's not get off track. Right, so then Beetroot Brownies, these are all legitimate things. These are all graphics of actual these things themselves that you could actually do with these things. Now obviously the spinach and banana, I would imagine the main constituent would be the bananas. We're buying them, so these costs aren't quite right on this one, because of all of the things, this one we would be buying in the bananas, so the cost would be a direct cost because we don't do bananas in the game. Obviously, they're all the same at the minute, but that's why I'm saying this is subject to change. But this is pretty much how it's going to be. So we're going to need cows, we're going to need bees, and we're going to need chickens, really, to actually pull this off. Now, I don't mind, because I pulled a bit of a blinder on swapping this. Now, we could have started immediately with the cannery. I don't mind for once matching what we've got to get us going, because we are not going to be able to afford cows or something like that straight off the bat. And I don't think there's a single one of these that we can do without. So we need flour for starters, and we need honey. Now the honey I can sort out, but we need cash. So I don't know how we're going to do this. I've sort of pulled myself a bit of a blinder. We've only got 60 odd grand, even after sticking that down and all the rest of it. So this is going to be interesting. We may have to do a bit of contracts. I'm not sure with Frankenmuth whether I'm still on Oak City, and I have got commitments to my friend Jangen, so I'm not sure whether to do this as a small one, but it is, I promise it'll be interesting, because obviously we've got this new production that's never been done. No one else has got this. This is my own creation, so there is, I mean, I am going to put it, once I've tested, I am very proud of this, like I am the self-sufficiency. That is on the model for testing. Yeah, the production silo likewise is on the model for testing. Yeah, all of the ones, wow. Yeah, all of the ones that I've got, I should have perhaps left the cannery a little bit, so we could have earned a bit of cash off that to actually make this work. It's amazing that you see these things after the fact, but it is true, really. I perhaps should have done that. It would have been... Is that actually still... No, it is going. Yeah, I wondered if it was like waiting to be... I didn't see a message, but sometimes when you're busy, you can't always see that. So, yeah, with Frankenmuth, I'm not sure. I don't think we've got enough to buy a field or anything. I'm just trying to think how we can actually do this. Yeah, I mean, contracts, I'm not even sure if they work at the minute, because I very rarely do contracts. Me and Mr. CDP do not share this in common. Yeah, our contracts are really tough to make. I mean, especially FS25, they were fairly tough, and we are on hard economy too, just to make matters worse. So, yeah, now there's only 77 tons of storage in this. I think I saw. I think I left it as it was. Yeah, so we're not going to like put much more than that in, really. No, in fact, that's it. So we now need to go carrots. I probably ought to increase the storage a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit. Oh, I don't know, really. No, I suppose when you consider it, it's only that vegetables are huge. But so we will be allowing ourselves to, like, we need to make some flour though. So that means another production. We need to have a bakery. Red bean. No, we don't. Red bean. We want carrots. Yeah, it is true. Typical that we really could have done with the cannery for a little bit. And I suppose we could do both, and then when the cannery, it is true, I suppose we could. We've got enough to do it. Why am I lugging this when I've got a production silo that will actually push this here on the hour? This is a very good question. I have no idea why that I'm manually lugging this. Well, we could be getting on with sticking with all the production now. It's true. I think we'll do that. Otherwise, I've sort of, obviously I'd got this all, as you do, you think about it, I mean, there's quite a lot goes into farming simulators, I'm sure we all know. You don't just like randomly stick things and then it's going to work. You've got to put thought into the processes. Right, well, I need to plant this, and if I plant this, I can use that. Well, obviously I did all of that, which is why we chose the cannery. So we need to be sticking the cannery back down because some wally's gone and and lost 6,000 so much for actually doing that as well. So yeah, I don't know. Cannery, the lovely blue building. I really do like this one. So we need the other thing I like about these is you can stick them like this. I know obviously it moans about it, but all we need to do is stick that like that, and it really we should be able to we can see it all. Actually, we just need to level. Yeah, I will be changing this a little. That's why I'm not going too close to that other one. But if we just quickly unwrap that so that we can see the grate, and do that, and then we'll do a little bit of softening. Should make that. It's just we don't want the grates to like disappear, and leveling is important, very very important. So yeah, I mean all of these work on the real goods being very very level. So right, so we're down to 31,000. We now need to stick this because I think he's filled that. Let's leave this on the side, and we can grab but we'll leave this. Is it full again? So have I missed that? Yeah, I think it's nearly full again. Mind you, that's vegetables. See, that's what it's obviously. I was very disheartened in FS22 with giants because you wasted 2/3 of your vegetables. Now even I thought, well, come on, that's a bit of a stretch. You're not going to waste 2/3 of your vegetables. I mean, you've got to peel them. You're going to lose a little bit of loss with them boiling down a little bit for soup, I would imagine, but you're not going to lose 2/3 of your vegetables. I mean, this is ridiculous. I kept on hoping that a modder would save us all the way through FS22 and produce. There was a little bit of hope at one point, but why am I doing this thing? Still doing it, still manually doing it. Old habits I are. Yeah, I was hoping. There was one honey and parsnips one, but it was only one input. Now, I did use it on Elm Creek, and we did sort of get by, but it was only when I did the sugar beet that we actually made a lot of cash, because it really was quite tricky to make cash with it because the price was quite terrible. Now again, I'm doing this. There's a lot of work for us to do to use the new mod. It's obviously there's a lot. It's almost like a patisserie, really. So it needs you to stick productions in already, which also means the price of these end products has got to be really. It's luxury items, so it's got to be expensive because you're actually putting productions in here or products that are worth quite a bit already, which is of course where Giants went wrong with the cereal factory, because you can't just class it as you've already made productions and take losses, and then you're taking losses on losses. You've got to work that all into your bottom line. So then, sorry, but it is true, it's just business, isn't it, really, when you think about it. Right, so then we need, so we've got animals, we've got to like do that. So let's switch everything on. We do need indeed to switch this on, so we're going to need to do carrot soup, and we're going to need to switch parsnip soup on, and we also going to need to do red beet soup, which means we need to stick these on in here. We need to activate, and we want to distribute, activate, distribute, and parsnips. I don't think we've put any in yet, but we will. Oh no, we did actually. I'm telling fibs. P for parsnips. Activate, distributing. Fantastic. So obviously the beauty is once we've sort of established ourselves. So I'm gonna be here long enough to actually do this. I literally get this going because I'm interested in seeing this mod work, because I've obviously got a vested interest in this mod, full stop. Right, let's just stick this here. So what are we going to do to make this happen? Right, with skins, the cannery now is our only salvation. It's got to we could, of course, get some carrots off there now, although we've got nowhere to put them. Yeah, it's true. We could switch the other one on as well. We could actually, thinking about the luxury desserts, we've got a lot of these. Oh, yeah, we actually already loaded it in there, haven't we? So the cannery, yeah, we just put some in there as well. So we want to stick this on. Obviously, we know it's going to charge us though, isn't it? Yeah, I think the luxury desserts, let's just grab some and like fill it. Yeah, let's fill this with carrots and take that. Well, between them all, we should actually be able to just about get all of this in, I would say. Yeah, the other thing I figured in this one, it needed to have a reasonable unload rate. So I did this to the point where it's comfortable to use it for this particular job, because we all recognise that original belt systems were terribly slow. I mean, terribly slow. You needed to sort of just let them trundle along and then of course we got that mod that sped it up, but I never got that to work properly. It had sort of errors that made it not quite right, so I took it off a couple of times. I kept trying it a couple of times, but for me, with the mods that I got, it was like doing weird things, so I switched it off because it was just, it wasn't right. So again, not saying the mod itself was probably perfectly okay, but it didn't like the mods that I got in, so stick these carrots. We need to put some in both, and this one we're not switching on, so it's just storage, right? So it can have a little bit more carrots, and then the rest into the production silo. We'll gradually make our soups, which is a very good business. I'm going to extensively use as many of my own mods as I possibly can throughout this, because it's all testing. It is. And I promise that these are, and another thing I'll promise, a lot of the viewers are, a lot of them are like Xbox players and PlayStation 4 players and things like that. And I don't forget those who look after me. So I'm literally, all my mods are gonna be console ready. They're gonna be crossplay. Not any strange. I might have to take some sacrifices on some of the graphics that I can't quite do things like it's a higher level because I'm not allowed to have a console, but I will literally stick to that so that I can, every mod that I do that gets passed, and when I say gets passed, all of my mods are working. It's whether Giants think they fit into their ecosystem. They don't call it that, that's not the way they say it, but that's exactly what they sort of say. And I've had that a couple of times where there was nothing wrong with the mods, but they were like saying, and they didn't even say it was faulty, but they did it with one, because one was. They said, please fix the other errors, but all of my others are mod. Since I started, I use the tool extensively now. I never used to. I use the mod testing tool, because it saves you time as well. Giants, they are helpful in that way, that they have tried to provide tools to assist you in being a modder. Their tools are better, but that's another story. It is true. I pointed this out a couple of weeks back. Although Giants say that they like modders, the tools that they give to us, they don't have the features that Giants have. So that proves that actually Giants wants to be better modders than the modders. They don't let the modders have the proper tools that they've got. I'm not gonna speculate. All I'm going to say is that modders have done a remarkable job with inferior tools, which proves actually that they're really up to the job of modding. I've seen some really beautiful work. Biggins is a modder that's very, very good, and he's a new modder that I've never seen before up until FS25. The maker of the Altec is an artist, absolutely beautiful. Not sure about the Altec itself, but I don't mean the modelling. What I mean is that I'm not sure about it in the other ways, but it's made by a modder who truly understands very, very deep bits about modding, well beyond my level of ability. But obviously black sheep modding, I've studied at the Grandmaster's feet, I have. So yeah, I've looked. Lambo says, "Oh, you'll be." I thought, well, I don't mean it funny, but I don't think there's a single modder alive that hasn't looked at another modder. I've sort of, some might not admit to it, but I've heard enough conversations and had enough conversations with modders to know that although they all say that from things they say, they look at other mods too. But I'm just being honest about it. I'm not stealing work from somebody else. Because that is wrong. But as in for looking how someone did something, yes, I definitely have had a look. Yeah, and I sort of stumbled across a few things about Mantrid as well. It was very close. Mantrid almost gave up modding right back at the beginning because of the lack of support. Again, this is a common thread from Giants. You're sort of on your own, and although they talk about support and then like support modders, well, I'm not so sure. It's a bit hostile. I'm just going to say that. And some of the comments made to the modders, they're not terribly respectful. I've had a couple of quite awful comments that are like, don't take this personally. I'm like, well, how would I take it other than personally? You basically said you don't want my mods, and you've not really given me a particularly good reason, and you basically say that it's a copy of your work, whereas if you looked at it and looked in the 3D, you'd realise I actually modelled quite a few parts of this mod myself. It only resembles the Razek because I fell in love with the Razek at the beginning of the game. But if you check the sizes and the components, you'd realise that I actually did make this, but you've obviously not looked in the i3D file with enough thing. You've just looked and thought, this person's copied the Razek, so therefore we're not letting this get. And yet, the weird thing is, I went on the ModHub and there was exactly a Razek that had been adapted for Soul, and I'm like, all that person's done is adapted an XML file, and you say that I'm not allowed to release my mod, but this person is allowed to release their mod, and all they've done is tweaked an XML. I'm like thinking, well, this is if your sort of face fits this one. I thought obviously I've never been published at all. Perhaps the Giants are overworked, and whoever got my queue would basically give me both barrels. So yeah, it's not really terribly. No, it doesn't give a good impression to me personally of like we could be assisting. You know, we really could. This is true. We could. Instead of chin wagging. Again, it's trouble with Giants where they'll never publish any of my mods ever in my life because I give them a bit of gel. I've been totally respectful to Giants. Yeah, I have not given them any help at all. Yeah, the one bad thing about this is it gets filthy. It's really beautiful, but it absolutely gets ditched very, very quickly. I do love this. This is a thing of beauty. 6.5 meters. It is beautiful. Yeah, and it is now level. It's like got supports as well. It was a little bit cheeky to begin with. It was sort of hanging on nothing, whereas physics would support this fact now that it would actually sit there. So we need to go the middle. I think we'll just go straight up and down. So I'm going to say my words because otherwise this is going to be a huge session. So I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. done. Well, that makes a change from 100 odd litres when you go around the edge of the fields for bits and bobs of wheat or something. Nearly 2,000 litres of like carrots just for that little tiny bit of cleanup. We'll grab this pile of like parsnips as well, because it is. No. I was going to put it straight in there, but we can stick it straight. If there's any room, I think we'll filled it. Or yeah, we're going to put something on there. It is true, we've pretty much filled all storages because there's obviously vegetables are just so fantastic. I don't think there's any room here. There is a lid. There is. Fantastic. Yeah, I know. I have actually put this side by side with the roper, and this is bigger. It really is legit. I was actually sort of only putting 27 tons in to begin with, and then when I actually looked, I thought actually it is bigger. It's not only bigger, it's deeper. It's in every single way it's bigger. So I've in the end I relented and I thought I'll just do 47,777 litres, and yeah. So I think it's done, but it doesn't know it's done. It's following the course, which of course Coursebay is telling it to, but it's done. We've already done it, so it's no point. Right, so let's stick this in the. Yeah, I mean, well, these have both really got a trailer on their back, haven't they? Really, it's very good for unloading. So I'm very chuffed that we've actually got this, and I'm very chuffed that we got ours, and that it's that model, because there is still the original one that I've got that's got an 18-ton hold, and I seem to be getting that on Let's Plays nearly all the time instead of the one that we've got here, which is obviously my preferred model because it really is a lot bigger. This is the hardest bit. When you're going sideways on a trailer, it's very difficult to see where the end of that is. You're sort of having to guess, do it by feel. But it is nevertheless. I do love this. I really, when Dr. Julia released his, and I played on Rettenbach. I did. I fell in love with it. I thought, ooh. But it was annoying me. There were little niggles. I was like, oh yeah, but I can't see how much I've got in there. It's 10 tons. I thought, couldn't I make a hopper and make it bigger so it really has got proper depth and you could legitimately add. And I thought you could also make it into a vehicle and jump in it. Because you can, you obviously, if it's the other end of the field, you can't jump into Dr. Julia's. And I thought, I could just make it into a tractor. I mean, with the gate, it's a trick, but then that's all we know it's not a tractor. We know it can't be a tractor, but we can use that trick so that you can sort of do it. So let's just leave this here. So really, if we're doing vegetables, we really need, I mean, we're down to 28,000, but we've got all the way through the winter. We've got no animals at present, so we can really ramp up what we've got to do for the soup business, because it's all we've got. There's nothing else. No animals we need to feed. So really, these kind of these are quick. As in, we should really make some cash. Now, we are going to need we have got a low load, haven't we? I'm going to I'll get all the stuff up this end from the shop, because we've got quite a lot. We've got tankers. In fact, let's look at the... we have got a mod now for looking in the garage, but it's not working. Yeah, if you look at your vehicles, unless I'm looking in the wrong place, and there's another place for this. But I think it's supposed to, go into your vehicles. Yeah, so you can go up to your vehicles. So I wondered how you could do that. You can go from one screen to the other, which that's quite nice. But yeah, the vehicle screen. This is, unless it is slightly bigger. But to be honest, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is slightly bigger than oh, I've lost my mouse. It's done that trick where it doesn't let your mouse in. That's it. So what have we got? We have got the two agromassers, which really, they're not much use to us. Yeah, with vegetables. Oh, I can't. No, yeah, we can't do any vegetables that we actually do, though, can we? We've got the two front boxes, which are useful for everything. We've got the beautiful large trailer, the Agrostar, one of my favourite tractors. The 24-metre iron box for weeding. We've got the 12-metre, the 1200-litre tank. We have got a okay, so we can sort of struggle. We have got a 6-metre. That's going to be useful then. So we can do this. We got it. That's a 12 adapter, quantum, which we've just seen. The harvester, the Murdo, which is the shops, the header, which we haven't got a harvester, but really, we will in time need one. Then we've got the 40-tonner version of that. We've got the Roper and the Roper 6R. We did very well with our drops. It was really one of those Let's Plays where everything sort of fell into place. But that is definitely... now, let me just show you exactly how we did, really. Because, like, yeah, it's... so we've got 77 tons in that one. We will get more parsnips going to the luxury desserts. Got set that, so this is waiting. I know we can take it out. I've just really used it as storage for now. The carrots are filled. Oh, we have got canola. I'd forgotten, of course, we have that crop to begin with. So we could do something with the canola. That's true. Got the parsnip. Yeah, we nearly filled this with all of the vegetables. We've got a lot of straw as well from the canola harvest. So really, we've got a few assets, not a lot, but a few assets, even though we're absolutely skint. But really, it's true. So is there anything we can do with the canola? It's an oil-based crop, so there's not an awful lot we can do unless we spend more money on another production. So really, yeah, I'm going to say my goodbyes, and next session, we're going to get cracking. We are. So I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.